Hey, it's Jack Gately from Jack Gately Real Estate. Let's take a look at the real estate market in Massachusetts statewide for the month of October. So, of course, it's November now, and we're going to be looking at the October numbers. Let's take a look. So, let's take a look at average sales price first, which everyone is very interested in. The most interesting item, what's an average house in Massachusetts cost? $645,000 in the month of October, average sales price statewide. You can see by this chart, of course, that that's fallen off a little bit from the high of June. As you know, we came out of the whole 2020 thing and the market bounced up, and now we kind of leveled off. If we go down under 600,000, then that'll be like a big change in the market. So we're gonna see how this goes. You know, we kind of went up and then we're down a little bit, and now we're at an inflection point. I've always wanted to say that. We're at an inflection point, and right now the market is just saying, 645 average sales price, which is still very strong, and it's higher than what basically we saw all of last year. We've also seen the total number of single family homes slide a little bit more. Total sold in October, 4,536. That's off the 6,000 peak we saw in June. And of course, you would expect some type of slowdown into the colder months. But, we're not really in the colder months yet, right? We're not really into the colder months. So the closings that we're seeing in October now are really reflective of the late August and September market. Remember, it takes a good 6 weeks to close on a home. So you're definitely seeing the volume kind of slow down a little bit off of the frenzy of the springtime. Let's take a look at what sellers are getting for their compared to their original list price. Let's take a look at that. Sellers are still doing very, very well. In this chart here, I just want to explain it a little bit more, but in this chart here, we're comparing the original list price, what it went on the market for in the beginning, to the final sales price. And that is very strong ratio. Sellers are getting 102% of their original list price, which is very pro-seller, down a little bit from the 105 we were at in July, but anything north of 100, of course, I mean, that's a super, very strong seller market. Once you start to get into below 96, 95, 94, now you're starting to move to a buyer's market. And remember, each one of these points, it's a percentage of the sales price. That could be like tens of thousands of dollars. So, this doesn't really move much more than, say, down to about 90 or 89 is kind of the lowest I've ever seen it. But right now, selling the house, you're getting your list price and maybe actually a little bit of a premium over that. And you're accepting that offer as a seller in about 17 days in October. This has been under 20 now since what, April, I think? April. Yeah, that's really quick. Think about it statewide. That's pretty darn quick. And this also probably includes a number of different situations where there's best and final. When you do best and final, that actually strings out the period of time before you accept an offer. But it also means the marketplace is more competitive because you have a lot of people that are competing. 17 days, that's pretty quick. I mean, you're getting an offer that you like and you're accepting in just over 2 weeks. Again, another really strong sign for sellers. Hey, and just to round out this update, I wanted to take a look at what was on the market. We track this by the first of the month every month. What was on the market November 1st of this year? And actually, we're down a little bit at 4131 of total houses on the market statewide, single family homes. 4131 on the market as November 1st. So I said to myself, how does that compare to last November? And last November, we're actually a little bit higher than that. Not much. You can see it here on this chart. But then I said, what about the last time things were normal? In other words, before the virus. So I went back to November of 2019, and you can see the number here on the board here. 11,459. And I just think that's like remarkable because it shows you how much the real estate market has changed and how much we're talking about really tight supply, really tight supply. And it gives us some perspective. You know, you're hearing out there that the real estate market is slowing down, and you know, there's all some concerns about that. In 2019, we thought supply was constricted. We were like, wow, there's not a lot of houses to sell in 2019. Now we're looking at more or less a third of what was available then, available now. And we're like, wow, there's really not enough houses to sell. So even though it does seem with inflation and interest rates might go, you know, those are big questions to be concerned about. But when you're looking at it from a granular point of view, there's just not a lot of houses to choose from compared to, you know, our historical options. So I think things will continue to be more or less a seller's market for the foreseeable future. And I do expect that this number, 4131, to continue to decline, at least it historically would, as we head into the colder months. December, January, February, people take their homes off the market typically, and then they put them back on the market in the springtime. We'll see. Hey, I'm Jack from Jack Gately Real Estate. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.